WGAL News 8 at 6.
This is one of the biggest loss of lives that we've seen in a long, long time.
20 people are dead in New York after a limo crashed into a parked car. Judge Brett Kavanaugh is now officially a Supreme Court justice, but many say the political fight has just begun. And police are searching for a killer after a man was shot overnight in a drugstore parking lot in York. Good evening, I'm Danielle Woods. That deadly shooting is our top story tonight at 6. WGAL News 8's Becca Hendrickson is live at the CVS on South Richland Avenue in York.
Police say 24-year-old Tyler Owens was just getting off work at this Turkey Hill when he was shot early this morning. Friends have been stopping by this parking lot all day now, lighting some candles here in his memory. Police say Owens was shot around 1:30 this morning. An ambulance brought him to the hospital where he died a few hours later, but investigators do believe he was targeted. Now, the community had already planned on using this drugstore parking lot today for an anti-gun violence march and rally in honor of another young man who was shot and killed near here. 15-year-old Desmond Jones was part of a bicycle club called Pedal for Peace, and for his friends and family, today's event was supposed to be a celebration of his life.
We are celebrating life today, but it has been clouded now by yet another death.
We want our streets back. We want our kids to be able to at least be able to make mistakes in life. These kids are dying so young that they can't even make mistakes.
The march ended with a rally in the backyard of a home on West Princess Street where Jones was shot and killed. Now, police have arrested a suspect in that shooting. As for this one, the chief says that he has extra officers in this neighborhood today investigating. I did ask about the possibility of surveillance cameras helping out. You can see this is a drugstore. I'm looking at least 2 cameras that might have seen something right now. I'm waiting to hear back on that. Live in York, Becca Hendrickson, WGAL News 8.
Well, it is the nation's deadliest transportation accident in nearly a decade. A limousine in New York State crashed Saturday, killing everyone on board as well as 2 bystanders. NBC's Dan Sheneman is following the story out of Schoharie, New York.
It was just before 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon in Schoharie, New York, when police say a Ford Excursion packed with passengers drove through a stop sign.
The limousine traveled across the intersection into a parking lot and struck a 2015 Toyota Highlander that was unoccupied and parked. 2 pedestrians standing nearby were also struck and killed.
All 18 people inside the limousine were killed. All were adults. Barbara Douglas, the aunt of 4 people on board, says the SUV was rented for a birthday celebration.
And they did the responsible thing, getting a limo so they wouldn't be driving.
News of the crash rattled local residents.
We're a small community, and they're all our friends, and nobody should ever have to see what happened yesterday.
Authorities say the cause of the crash is under investigation and would not say if passengers inside the vehicle were buckled up.
The front seat passengers and the driver would be required to wear a seatbelt. The passengers in the back would not.
A team from the National Transportation Safety Board has also started to investigate.
This is one of the biggest loss of lives that we've seen in a long, long time.
The NTSB says this is the nation's deadliest transportation incident since 2009. Dan Sheneman, NBC News.
In Lebanon County, Interstate 81 is back open tonight after a 4-vehicle accident shut down the road for several hours. The accident, which involved 2 tractor trailers, happened around 3 this morning near the 81-78 split. State police say traffic was slowing in that area because of road work, but they say one driver did not slow down and ended up ultimately crashing into 3 vehicles. Police say only minor injuries were reported, and as you can see, this crash caused quite a mess along the road. Covering Perry County, where investigators are trying to figure out the cause of a fire this morning. It happened on the 1600 block of Raccoon Valley Road in Millerstown. Fire officials tell us smoke could be seen coming from the roof of the 3-bedroom, double-wide trailer home when crews arrived. We're told no one currently lived inside the home. No injuries have been reported. Judge Brett Kavanaugh is now a Supreme Court justice and ready to take his seat Tuesday. But the political ripple effects from this contentious fight are just being felt as both liberal and conservative voters look ahead to November's midterm elections. NBC's Jennifer Johnson has more from Washington.
Already sworn in as a Supreme Court justice, Brett Kavanaugh joins the High Court Tuesday. But the fallout continues after a bitter partisan fight.
He's going to be on the Supreme Court with a huge taint and a big asterisk after his name.
President Trump and other Republicans are celebrating.
I'm happy that those who tried to destroy his life fell short. I'm glad those who tried to overturn the rule of law and replace it with mob rule lost.
Some senators who voted to confirm Kavanaugh are now being targeted in their re-election bids. Maine Senator Susan Collins says she voted yes because she believed accuser Dr. Christine Blasey Ford had the wrong man.
I do not believe that Brett Kavanaugh was her assailant. So I do believe that she was assaulted. I don't know by whom.
But Democrat Heidi Heitkamp from Red State, North Dakota, said she couldn't back Kavanaugh after his fiery performance before the Senate Judiciary Committee, even if it cost her in November.
Even if you don't believe or believe Dr. Ford, the other issue is one of temperament. The other one is an issue of impartiality.
Is confirmed.
In the end, the GOP got Kavanaugh through by a 2-vote margin, the closest vote for a Supreme Court justice since 1881. Jennifer Johnson, NBC News, Washington.
President Trump was on the campaign trail in Kansas during Kavanaugh's swearing-in last night, but he announced plans for another ceremony at the White House tomorrow evening.
We will perform the swearing-in ceremony for soon-to-be Justice Kavanaugh, a great man. And he will sit proudly alongside Justice Neil Gorsuch.
Justice Gorsuch was President Trump's first nominee to the Supreme Court. He was confirmed in April. Be sure to stay with WGAL News 8 as we continue to follow Kavanaugh's confirmation to the Supreme Court. Well, now News 8 meteorologist Ethan Houston, he's outside in the warm, summery weather, and summer is just really sticking around for longer than we expected, Ethan.
That's right. Temperatures rising into the 80s. Some spots got close to 90 degrees today. Turned out being a mostly sunny day, but we still are watching for the chances for a few passing showers and thunderstorms this evening and for tonight. Right now, it's still 88 degrees in Gettysburg. It's 82 if you're watching us in Lancaster. We just have a few isolated showers trying to move in from the west and the northwest. They will be few and far in between as we head through the rest of the night tonight. You can see as we pan on out, it is relatively quiet across the mid-Atlantic and northeast. There is a cold front, though, draped over I-80. That's going to start to move farther to the south, and that's going to start clouding things over through the night tonight, and it's going to be mostly cloudy for tomorrow. But the summer-like warmth will continue. Highs will be back into the mid-70s. Rain chances stay pretty low, but a few isolated showers and thunderstorms will be possible tomorrow as well. Rain chances will go up thanks to newly formed Tropical Storm Michael later this week. And if you're looking for that fall-like feel, that's going to return as we head into next weekend. All the details on that come up in just a few minutes.
That's my name.
Well, it may be feeling more like summer than fall, but it's safe to say the sunshine and warm temperatures were welcome in Lancaster County for this year's I-105 Turkey Hill Fall Fest. Big crowds made their way to today's Country Music Festival at Overlook Community Campus.
This is the event that happens in Lancaster. It's the biggest event that happens in Lancaster. And as I mentioned, it's just one of those things, it's a must-see.
Lots of acts from near and far took the stage, and this year's headliner was country music star Rodney Atkins. This is the 27th year for the event. Coming up on WGAL News 8 at 6, a magnitude 5.9 earthquake rocks Haiti, killing a dozen and injuring many more. And as we head to break, let's take a live look outside over Lebanon. Ethan has your full storm team forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes.